Okay, well, I've had some people ask me questions about my bridge and wanted to have better pictures of it, better look at it, and so on. I know that whenever I was trying to build a bridge like this before I actually built it, I looked at a lot of places trying to find something, and it never really was successful. Perhaps I didn't search properly. But anyway, this bridge is all scratch built out of balsa and strip wood. It is 5 actual feet long, and it's a double track bridge and HO scale. It has over 2,000 individually cut pieces. I cut each piece by hand. You can see I cut each individual piece of the truss to make the shapes of the girders and everything else, and all the gussets and so on. Now, super detailers may note, hey, buddy, you've got no rivets. Well, sorry about that. That's kind of a model railroader's prerogative on that, I suppose. At any event, I didn't feel like putting on a zillion of those things. This bridge is supposed to be a plausible bridge. Now, I based it off of a cornerstone kit, so some of the pieces, the way it looks, might seem to be a little bit familiar in that respect. This is the underside of the bridge, as you can see. See all the individual pieces on there and how the decking actually works. Bridge itself gets its power right through these leads right here that I connect. One of the big challenges, of course, was designing a bridge that I could remove whenever I'm not running trains, which is an extremely important requirement considering most of my basement is blocked off whenever I'm actually running trains. So if anybody comes down to the basement and wants to get something, I won't accidentally knock the bridge down or have to duck under it. So there you are, as you can see. It came out pretty cool. Funny little thing is that the bridge itself is probably lighter than the bridge track that I put on there to run. It's kind of a funny thing about balsa being so lightweight. Of course, it's great because, well, just obvious reasons. Anybody's worked with balsa. I'm not going to elaborate on that after all. I am, after all, an amateur. I'm making video. This is the pattern I made for making the truss on the sides, as you can see. It's a cantilevered design. But I was able to cut all the individual pieces. There's some leftover balsa and everything. The bridge that I used for an example is this right here. This is actually 2 bridges put together to make one. You can see one side, and you can see 2 with the double part right there in the middle where they met. Of course, this is a plastic kit. I do believe it's put out by Cornerstone. And you can see where I got some of the inspiration for the trusses and the way things go together. And it works really well. And again, there's underneath of it. So you can kind of see, again, where I'm getting all that going. I'm not an engineer, I'm an artist. So I have to figure out what's possible and what might work. Now this right here is a curved timber trestle that I built using a Pennsylvania Railroad prototype plans out of a book a friend of mine loaned me a long time ago. I made it so none of the pieces are longer than 60 scale feet, so it looks like I got all the pieces from a local supplier rather than sending 100-foot tall redwoods across the continent. And it worked out pretty well. It used to be on the club layout, but whenever they redesigned it, they just gave this to me. And I thank them for that. It's the Naptown and White River Club, if anybody's interested. Made a couple of videos of that, which are also on YouTube. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this, and to answer some questions, be sure to contact me if you need to. Got any questions about how to make similar bridges, or I've accomplished some of the little hurdles that came up in front of me, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel on anything. So anyway, and there's the layout itself. It's a digitally command control, so it runs really, really nice. And anybody with a DCC locomotive or even a regular DC locomotive can run on this, because I'm just using the Zephyr system. So no intentional plugs, but for manufacturers, but you know, you use what works, and it works well. Thank you very much.